Hello everybody, I'm Caitlin Bradley, and today we are going to be doing a second grade level sequence of events of the book If You Give a Mouse a Cookie by Laura Numeroff. We are going to first start with an activity to get us warmed up on what is story sequencing, but the main objective of the lesson is students will be able to retell the story If You Give a Mouse a Cookie by using a story hat. So after the little activity to start off, we are going to read the book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. And after that, we have a little Kahoot quiz to just check your understanding and recollection of the book before we jump right into the story hats. I have already printed and have the story hats ready to go, so all you will have to do is just color them in and paste them in the correct order of the book. So let's jump right in. Story sequencing is the order of events, what happened in the book and what came first, next, last. So let's take a look at this passage here. Kayla and Allie's play date. Kayla wanted to make her friend Allie a mug of hot chocolate. She heated the water in a kettle on the stove. Kayla added the hot chocolate packet to the mug and carefully poured in the hot water. Then, she garnished their hot chocolates with some marshmallows and brought the hot chocolate to the living room. Kayla and Allie sipped their hot chocolate while playing board games on the carpet. So, keeping that story in mind, let's take a look at the pictures that we have. We are first going to look at each picture and figure out the order in which they happened, based on the story we just read. Can anybody tell me what they think the first step was? Great. Now what's the second? Perfect. And the third? Awesome. And last but not least, the girls playing on the carpet. So when you're finished, it should look something like this. Now, we're going to jump into the book If You Give a Mouse a Cookie by Laura Numeroff. So while I'm reading this, make sure you pay attention to the order in which things are taking place, because it's going to come in handy for what we'll do next. What do you think will happen if you give a mouse a cookie? Does anyone have any ideas? Perfect. All right, so let's jump in and read the book. And now is when I would read the book to the children, and after that, they would move on to the Kahoot. The code would be displayed on the board, and the code I have for this right now is invalid. I just made it up so that you could see what it would look like when I presented it to the classroom. The Kahoot quiz is just to assess if they can still recall the book, and it'll help guide them when they are doing their story hats. So after the story hats, students will color the images and glue them in the correct order on the story hat. And once it's done, we'll tape it all together. The kids can wear their hats. And since people will be finishing at different times, we have an online game for reinforcing story sequencing. And after that, that's just the lesson plan. Since everyone's finishing at different times and some will be on their games, some might still be coloring, the closing, when everyone is done, we'll all get back together as a class and we will be able to show each other our different story hats. And since everyone colored them, they might have done it a little different, and it's unique and they can be proud of it. So my assessment would be whether or not they glued their stories sequence in the correct order. And that would conclude the lesson. Thank you so much. Have a good day.